You know, if you stay long enough at one spot, you start to trip out. Or is that just me having flashbacks? Whoa. Wow. Hey all, what up? What up, YouTube? What up, Facebook? What up, Sri Lanka? Yeah. I told you I'd find you a new GME. We're out now. We're out now. All right, I'm not in Tlry anymore. I actually shorted the wheat indexes this morning on the pullback, which was a pretty good trade. Again, I'm more of an advocate of not owning stocks, except when it's this exciting. You got to own something. Yeah, it's a shame I didn't put my life savings into it, but it would have made. Want to hear something in perspective? When it first got started, you could have put $4,000 to work. I know this is nobody did this, but I'm just putting it into perspective. If you bought when the Tlry first broke out, and if you were thinking it was going to go to 27, and you did get yourself those $25 calls, let me put it in perspective. $4,000, right, worth of the options that we first originally had. $4,000. 20 days later, close to $800,000 trade. I'm not the same person as I was a couple of days ago. I seem to find these monsters all the time, but you've seen the way I talk. I sell into the move. So if you got something at 22.50 and it's at your first target of 27, the reason you have a target is that's where you're looking to take some profits. How do you stay in these crazy stocks? You don't sell it all at one price. So after 27.50, you held it over the weekend. It opens up at 30, goes to 32.50. You got to sell a little bit there. So now you've sold and you're locking into profits. It makes it a little bit easier to hold on to what you got left. Then came the parabolic move. Remember, first the bottoming process happens. Then you get your first 100 or 200%. But in this market, after a stock goes up 200 or 300%, which is absurd in itself, then you get the secondary afterburner effect. You get the reaction, the latecomers, and then eventually you get the bag holders. The bag holder is that last guy who finally says, shit, I got to get into this thing. It's going to 2,000. And Tlry could legitimately be that one if it consolidates between, let's say, 47 and 54, and then starts to take off again. It can legitimately go to 80, 120. The stock was $300 once. Maybe it goes back to 300. Nothing's far-fetched in this market. That's what's so crazy about it. And that's why even when you make some money, you're kind of disappointed when you look at the original trade and to put it into, because it would turn out to be like a 58 bagger. Right? Something like that. So 58 times your money in 5 or 6 days. It's not supposed to work like that. But, do the math. So 58 times your money. What was it again? Oh, sorry, it was $250,000. $250,000. So if you put $4,000 into it, you made about $250,000 from the original entry. That's if you held it the entire time and sold it today. But still, think about that. $4,000 turning into $250,000 in 4 days. That's ridiculous. But that's the power of compounding, and that's the power of options and leverage. Because you didn't have $4,000 worth of the stock. You had $4,000 worth of options of the stock, which is a whole different thing, baby. Smell it through the bag. I can smell it through the bag. But then today you had some profit taking finally. So we were able to short the stocks. You guys know about shorting now. And, down they went. So right now, still love Tigr. I even bought more today, which is against the way I trade. Usually I'm selling into the moves as they're breaking out. I like this Tigr trade so much because I know that real financial institutions are buying this stock. Don't ask me how I know that. Gevo, another one. Gevo, this stock is delusional and scary, but it's still working, so you have to stick with it. So Gevo, I gave it to you the other day. Well, I gave it to some of you guys back when it was coming out of the $1.50 range. Stock's at $15 now, and it has options. They don't create options on a stock when there's lack of interest. They create options on a stock when there's more interest. So the more interest, the more volume, the more chance of the GME moment. So the more people that are watching the stock and the more people that bet against it, when it starts to go back up, it goes up twice as much. That's what Gevo is all about. Gevo is an alternate energy fuel play. I don't know much about the company, but it's a has-been loser stock that now has woken up from the dead, and those are the ones that you get 15 times your money on, and this one hasn't stopped going up yet. So Gevo, every time it pulls back, there's a buyer. That's a positive inflow. It's when they pop, they drop, and they roll back to where, they break prior day lows, then you start seeing, that's when you start looking at the stock is in a downtrend. Jay, it's here. VWAP is, you got to type it in just like that. So assuming you didn't own stocks, right? There was plenty of money to be made, because let's say you didn't own those stocks. So when they start to sell off, you could short them and make some money on the way down. That's trading. But today's trades were also Yelp gapped up, went red, shorted it. We had Tigr long, Gevo long, and here's the fun part. As much as AMC is a doggity dog, dead doggy dog. Awesome today. Today the buyers showed up. There's people that like the stock down here at 550. They started buying it. The shorts got spooked, and you got a stock that's up 11%. And again, remember, 11% in one day compared to some of these other stocks trading 30, 40%. I know it's not a lot, but 11% in one day. 11% in one day. That would take you 101 years to make in a bank. That's why the market never goes down. You're not making 11% in a morning, not even a day. You're not making 11% on your money in 4 hours anywhere else. And that's why this market never goes down, because every stock, again, even AMC became a buy finally today, as GME also. But just for trades, I still think eventually they're going to go down even lower. But that's it. We move on. We take the money that we made in the day trades, and now if you want to hold on to some stocks, you're doing it with house money. House money all night long. Say what? House money all night long. Say what? House money all night. What are you looking at? Yeah, house money. Gotta have house money. Gotta have house. You know that one? No. Yeah, so that's it. Again, done with work by 12:20. The best part about this casino is that I got entertainment outside. I'm not getting any tickets to some show. Nobody's giving me free drinks. The longer you stay in any casino, they get your money. So I try to leave the casino. As rigged and as awesome as it is always a good time. You do 4 or 5 good trades. You take some of those profits, maybe you buy some of the stocks that you like with house money, and then you leave. And then you go find something else to do. I've got literally nothing else to do, so I stick around and, again, my hands are over here, my keyboard's over there. You don't have to trade. So again, you have a goal in mind. I set a goal. Again, most of the new guys' goals are between 250 and 300 a day. At 250, look at my shiny. At 250 a day, let's just stay at the bottom of the range. 250 a day by 12 o'clock every day. You got to take that into consideration because it's part of the factoring. Not working a full day. At 250 a day, throw in the awful day that you're going to have at least once a week where you give back some. At just $250 a day, you could probably bring home 50 grand. And then remember, there will be days where you have exceptional days where you make 2 grand. And then, of course, there'll be the shitty days where you lose. So you factor all that in. But if you can keep your average and your goal, and remember, this is all by 12 o'clock, doing 50 grand a year by 12 o'clock, and then you can have another job on top of that. Or this, you don't consider this a job. How about 50 grand as extra money, which is a bizarre way of looking at money. There's really never any extra money. It's just more money. But that extra 50 grand, there's that new car you wanted to get, the vacation, college education for your kids if you choose to take that route. I vote no. I vote put your kids on a plane and send them to Europe or around the world, have them come back, get an internship, get a job. College, down on college, don't get me started, but you just did get me started, so I'll continue. College is a racket. College is a racket because if you haven't noticed, Villanova was a shitty-ass school until they won a couple of basketball tournaments, and suddenly now they've got a good business program. Syracuse, $75,000 a year to get a communications degree. Are you serious? The discrepancy between in-state and out-of-state shows you that the entire thing is a scam. Just because I live in the state, you're going to charge me $28,000 less than the guy that lives across the border? Scam. Oh, now that Clemson won a couple of football games, now you've raised your price. Did your school get better because you're more popular because you won a couple of football games? Scam. The loans that are taken out to get jobs where you're not even going to get that money at your salary, scam. So I know you guys, I don't want to get to the socio-political debate here again, because I know everybody's a political scientist. Everybody knows about the ideologies like the back of their hand: communism, socialism, the perils of communism, and the disappearing middle class, and the Illuminati, and of course the 1%. Yeah, we go on and on and on. Bottom line is, if you go visit these schools, what are they doing? They're taking your money and they're building more buildings. They're taking your money and they're redoing that statue. They're taking your money and they're sending out flyers. I get stacks and stacks of flyers every day. Stop sending me flyers. Maybe you could lower the price of admission. But if these people wanted you so badly into the school, they should be the ones lending you the money to come to their school. And they should be free. Not free school. But then again, if the government decided to take so remember, it was started at $6.5 trillion is being put into the market. We're down to 5.43 now trillion that has to go into the market. Why not take 2.8 trillion of that and pay off or help kids get loans at zero interest? How about that? I'm not saying they don't have to pay the money back. How about 0.001% interest? The government could do that. The government prints money, if you don't understand. The government prints money, but they don't give it to us. No, the government prints money and bails out the banks and the airlines and the cruise ships and billionaires that lose money on some short position. That's what they use their money for, and to prop up the stock market. So why do we pay taxes? What do they need our money for? If the government can print money and just to prop up the stock market, obviously they've got plenty of money. Why do we have to pay taxes? So I think instead of sending stimulus checks, anybody that makes less than 60 grand a year, you don't even have to pay taxes. I don't even want you to file. Anybody making over 60 grand, between 60 and $1 million a year, I'll give you 10%. And I want to direct where it goes to. Or you can't have my money. I want to know my 10% taxes is going to specific programs to help other people, not to bail out banks and cruise lines and prop up the stock market. So again, the real revolution is here. I hope that it continues. I hope anarchy reigns supreme. And I hope it all comes down to us not paying taxes, because we really shouldn't have to pay taxes, especially this year. I don't think we should pay taxes for the next 3 to 5 years. So again, make money in the bubble so then you could join my organization, anti-college, anti-taxes. Don't be a dick, vote Glick. I got it all figured out. Who wouldn't vote for me? Mandatory Mondays. I legalize weed, but not only do I legalize it, but I make it mandatory. Mandatory Mondays, you got to smoke when you wake up. Mandatory Mondays, it's a wake and bake. Sorry, it's the law now. Got to smoke. Mandatory Mondays, no white-collar prisons, no bailing out banks, cruise lines, no more foreign aid. I close the borders around the world. I close our borders for good for at least 4 years. We're full. Can't come in. Sorry. We're going to help. We're going to do us. You guys do you for a while. We'll see how it all works out. I think my 4 years would be phenomenal. And then I will rewrite the Constitution where you can't vote me out, and I will be your supreme leader for all of eternity. Because we don't get any older, and we don't ever die. So that's where I'm at right now. You guys know Rick's Cabaret Strip Club, one of the only publicly traded strip clubs. The stock was $1 about 10 years ago. It's at $61. There's really no bad stocks. We should just bring our own company public and just say that we cure cancer and COVID, and our product also is an electric vehicle, and you could smoke weed out of it. Bang, our stock would go through the roof. An electric car company smoking weed that cures COVID? Shit, I'm in. That'll just be the story. We run the stock to 500. We all bail out and we flee the country because they'll come after us for taxes and, of course, fraud. Because, you know. But anyway, vote Glick. I'll save you all. Boring afternoon so far. So I'm going to go into the other room and watch The Mandalorian. Take care, man. I hope you did all right. See ya. Oh, wait, before we go, if you like hallucinogenic mushrooms, the next wave, the next big idea that there's rumblings about are the legalization of certain psychedelics, mostly talking about mushrooms. MMEDF, stock was 25 cents. It's trading at $3.50 now. Doesn't really make it a great buy. But there's a couple of publicly traded companies now that specialize in mushrooms. And if you're going to, again, if you're a believer of that industry to be the next thing, that one's the most popular one, MMEDF. And then you got shrimp, SHRMF. You know, if you made some money on the Tlry or some other weed stocks, you throw a couple of G's into those. They hit, they do. If they don't, you're out a couple of G's, but you're using house money. And that's what it's all about. You make some money on the high quality trades, and then you take some speculative trades. But right now, GEVO, phenomenal. But you got to learn about options. You got to learn about, you know, how to hedge yourself, because these stocks are dangerous at these levels. Some of them are up hundreds and thousands of percent. Some of these stocks were $1 and they're trading at 18, 20. That's 1,800% return. That's absurd. All right, I'm gonna go seriously. Mandalorian, right? I've been waiting and waiting. I'm just gonna go watch it. I was trying to get a family thing going, but it's amazing how hard it is to get the four of us together in a room to watch one program. So on that note, farewell, good luck. I'll see you soon. Dodge Warlock. Is there a car called the Warlock? No. Oh, did I show you? I got my Warlock costume. Hold on a second. Can't really appreciate it. Hold on a second. I ordered it from Wish. I ordered this from Wish on November 11th. It showed up 2 days ago. Or actually, it showed up last week. It works better when I wear a hat underneath so I could get the full hood experience. If I don't have the hat, it sinks down. I got to wear a black hat underneath. Wow, that's quite annoying. Look at that thing. That's annoying. Get the frick out of here. Nobody can call me. Magic Jack's acting up. What the hell is this? Hey, that's a close-up of your face. Jesus. It's gonna get some I don't know, some like crazy. I need a big silver rope chain. I just like it. I want to get some matching chaps. I got to get some shit-kicking boots with this outfit. I'm going to put a holster in there or something. I got to have something where I can hide some blades in this thing. There's nowhere to hide. I need some weaponry.
This business it's a luxury. When you know what you're doing.
Uh-oh. I hear somebody
when you
talking.
know what you're doing and defining trades and understanding it all could be.
I like this little subtle thing going on here. I love it, man. Look at it. It's got a tail. This shit's sick. You like it with my Snoopy pajamas? Nothing like stinky Chinese fake leather. So, can't really describe the aroma that's coming off this jacket right now. Hey, by the way, kids, when you start making ridiculous money, you can order shit like this just for fun. Now I don't want to take it off. I need just a black, some thick silver chains. I got to get a couple of rings with like spikes and demons on it, and get some crazy boots. I need something to hold blade. There's no pockets in this thing. I need to I'm gonna have to sew some something where I could get a couple of knives in there. All right, on that note. AMC, no joke today. Very excited. Gevo's looking good too. Keep up the good work, guys. It's great. All right, market sold off for 18 minutes and 43 seconds today. You guys that made it through the bear market of 2021, today it lasted almost 20 whole minutes. Scary. See ya.